Hey guys, welcome back to the View Cryptos channel. Today I'm going to talk about Ripple and XRP. The current price of XRP is above 25 cents and the change for the last 24 hours is plus 1.7% and the change for the last 7 days is plus 6.6%. Let's take a look at this tweet here from Brad Garlinghouse. The US is out of sync with other G20 markets. It is critical for Ripple to have a level playing field in order to compete on a global stage. The UK, Singapore, Japan, Switzerland and UAE are at the top of our list because they are providing clarity and consistency. So this is very important for Ripple. Regulatory clarity. The lack of regulatory clarity in the US currently is suffocating Ripple and XRP, so they need to make a move soon. I found a very interesting report on the site of Bank of Japan, and it's about synchronized cross-border payments, Project STELLA. And Project STELLA is a joint research undertaking by the European Central Bank and the Bank of Japan, launched in December 2016, which aims to contribute to the ongoing debate with experimental work and conceptual studies exploring DLT's opportunities and challenges for FMI. The current report in the following referred to as STELLA Phase 3. So the current report builds on the insights gained from the previous two phases, which had focused on the processing of large value payments using DLT, which was from September 2017, and securities delivery versus payment in a DLT environment, which was in March 2018. STELLA Phase 3 explores innovative solutions for cross-border payments, payments between currency areas. Okay, I have highlighted some sections from the report, so it's a big report and I will skip a big part of the report, but I think the most important things I have highlighted, they're about Ripple and Interledger Protocol. So here you see selected private sector initiatives. A community group of the World Wide Web Consortium is developing further the Interledger Protocol, a set of rules that allows payments to be sent across different types of ledgers. ILP is built on the initial proposal laid out in the white paper, A Protocol for Interledger Payments, from Thomas and Schwartz, 2015. Chapter 3 provides a more detailed description of the underlying concepts of ILP. And Ripple has developed Xcurrent, which connects financial institutions via a global network of participating entities, RippleNet. This network is called RippleNet. Xcurrent is built around ILP and enables bidirectional communication between participating entities and coordination of payments across ledgers. Main results of the joint analysis of STELLA Phase 3. This report is from last year, 2019. The main results: STELLA Phase 3 explores innovative solutions to improve cross-border payments, especially in terms of safety. It builds on the experimental and conceptual work previously conducted under the umbrella of Project STELLA and also takes into consideration research work of other central banks and private sector entities. The second phase of Project STELLA identified a new approach for settlement across ledgers through HTLC that could potentially allow the mitigation of credit risks through the synchronization of settlement. STELLA Phase 3 expands the scope of this analysis. It studies a protocol introduced in the aforementioned white paper, A Protocol for Interledger Payments, which attempts to present a ledger-agnostic protocol that synchronizes payments across different types of ledgers. It also assesses the safety and efficiency implications of a variety of payment methods which could be used in the cross-ledger payment. Okay, and here a protocol for interledger payments. This chapter describes the concepts of a protocol for interledger payments, a ledger-agnostic protocol that allows the sender to make payments across different types of ledgers. This protocol is built on the proposal for universal interledger payments outlined in the white paper A Protocol for Interledger Payments, and more recent developments. And experimentations, overview of experiments. In STELLA Phase 3, we conducted experiments to examine the feasibility of synchronized settlement across different ledgers using the ideas introduced in the Interledger white paper about universal interledger payments. Experiments were conducted with and without the ILP, one of the most relevant specifications based on the white paper. The experiment without ILP was carried out for funds transfers between DOT ledgers, while experiments with ILP was for funds transfers between DOT ledgers, between centralized ledgers, and between a DOT ledger and a centralized ledger. The knowledge obtained from the experiments complements the main results of the conceptual study conducted in this report. Research on performance was not within the scope of these experiments. Okay, we identified two publicly available open source implementations of ILP, Interledger and Hyperledger Quilt. And you know that Ripple is contributing to Hyperledger Quilt. Interledger.js is a reference JavaScript implementation of the ILP stack with an active community of developers that work on different solutions with different blockchains. Hyperledger Quilt is a Java implementation of ILP and is currently in incubation under the umbrella of Hyperledger Foundation. Interledger.js was adopted in this phase mainly because of the availability of documentation. And here I want to show you who will work on Hyperledger Quilt, Everest, Entity Data, and Ripple. They're committing full-time engineering resources to ensuring the success of this project. Okay, and here this experiment confirmed that in the absence of failures, synchronized settlement by on-ledger escrow can be conducted between centralized ledgers using ILP. And here also experiment with ILP. In order to carry out experiments on DOT ledgers, we implemented some ledger functionalities within Hyperledger Fabric, together with a plugin that allows participants to connect to the ledger using ILP functionalities. The experiment confirmed that synchronized settlement, which consists of two on-ledger escrow using HTLC on different ledgers, can be achieved. ILP could facilitate the abstraction of different types of ledgers and therefore could bring about the benefit of standardization. And here you can see a picture with the cross-platform experiment with ILP. And guys, it's very important to say here that it is not from yesterday that central banks are performing tests and experiments using DOT and using the help of the private sector and companies like Ripple. And it is very good sign that they are experimenting with Interledger Protocol, because you know that Interledger Protocol is going to be very, very useful when we are talking about cryptocurrency adoption, and two of the fastest crypto assets are XRP and XLM. So I think that if the Interledger Protocol is adopted by central banks, I think this is going to be really huge for XRP and XLM, because they can be used very easily through the Interledger Protocol. And I don't think that banks are going to announce, yes, we are going to use XRP and XLM, we are going to pump them and so on. They're going to use them, but it's not going to be so obvious for the ordinary person. So I think that the Interledger Protocol is going to be really, really big for XRP and XLM. And now actually let's answer the question what Interledger Protocol is. Well, it is a network of decentralized exchanges. Interledger is made up of a network of connectors, independent operators that act as decentralized exchanges or market makers for cryptocurrencies, fiat currencies, and other tokenized assets. The protocol allows users to transact natively on the network of their choice without needing to move assets to a centralized exchange or to a specific blockchain for trading. The Interledger network has no central authority or company, and the protocol is not tied to any currency, token or blockchain. Paying from one currency to another, with Interledger, a user can send Bitcoin and the recipient will automatically receive ETH, or whatever their preferred currency happens to be. The assets are exchanged in the flow of the transfer without either party needing to think about how this happens. Behind the scenes, Interledger routes packets of money across value networks, like the internet routes packets of data between internet service providers. When the user sends Bitcoin, the user's wallet sends Interledger packets denominated in Bitcoin to a connector. The connector applies their exchange rate and forwards ETH-denominated packets onto the receiver. For more obscure assets, Interledger packets are automatically routed across multiple connectors, and each one is incentivized to help find the best paths through the network. Importantly, all of this happens without the sender needing to trust the connectors, as the protocol guarantees that the sender's money cannot be lost or stolen in transit. And the key features of the Interledger protocol are simple packet format, trustless sending, and packetizing value. And let's take this presentation here at this slide. Packets can be sent across any number of hops. So you can send some kind of fiat currency, let's say, and the value of this currency can go through different, let's say, fiat and cryptocurrencies, and the receiver is going to receive the value in, let's say, fiat or cryptocurrency of his choice. So this is very interesting. The Interledger protocol, it's very powerful thing. And I also want to show you this document here. It is from Bank of England, and it is from 2017, FinTech Accelerator Proof of Concept, Ripple exploring the synchronized settlement of payments using the Interledger protocol. Again about Interledger protocol. The Ripple solution utilized by the bank was built around the open source Interledger protocol that enables payments to be made across different ledgers and networks across the world. A ledger is essentially a file used to record transactions measured in terms of a monetary unit of account. The solution used by Ripple Connect, which acted as the interface that enables an institution's internal systems to integrate with the Ripple network. This means that payment instructions can be sent and received, and the state of payments can be queried. The solution also utilized the IOP validator network, which coordinates the settlement of payments between the transacting ledgers, and is the source of truth regarding the success or failure of such payments. We successfully integrated the Ripple solution with 2 simulated RTGS systems hosted in the cloud and demonstrated that we could process a successful cross-border payment across 2 RTGS systems simultaneously. We also demonstrated that an attempted cross-border payment that failed validation on the receiving side would not be honored. Okay, and reflections and next steps. This proof of concept was a useful exercise to develop the bank's understanding of synchronization and possible technical solutions. Our key learning points were that the Interledger Protocol was able to support synchronization of payments between two simulated RTGS ledgers, that the IOP validator created a single source of truth between the two ledgers, eliminating the need for separate processes such as mutual reconciliation between separate ledgers. Cross-border payments, when applied to wholesale markets, present different challenges than when compared with retail and corporate transactions, which the Ripple product is designed to handle. The availability of liquidity is one such challenge, and the proof of concept allowed the bank and Ripple to begin exploring these questions. So very interesting proof of concept. We see that Bank of England is exploring DOT and blockchain and cryptocurrencies and the Interledger Protocol from 2017 and maybe even before that, who knows, but this is an official document. It is from the website of Bank of England. So I will leave the links of these reports and documents in the description so you can check it out yourself. And finally, let's talk about the Flare network. I think the Flare network is going to be really beneficial for the XRP ledger, because it is going to bring smart contracts on the XRP ledger, and it is going to bridge the XRP ledger with Ethereum. And you know that nowadays decentralized finance is very hot topic, and decentralized finance is definitely here to stay, and maybe it is going to make the banks obsolete in many areas, but in finance, but we are going to see, of course. All we know, the Flare network is something very good for Ripple and XRP. What is Flare and why are we building it? Flare exists to solve two key issues. First, and of immediate importance to the building out of our industry, is that 75% of the value that exists in public blockchain cannot currently be used in a trustless manner with smart contracts. Second, and of both short-term and long-term consequence, there are potential issues with how scaling is being implemented for smart contracts networks today. The majority of new networks use proof of stake or its variants. These protocols derive network safety from their native token. A longer-term issue is that as a proof-of-stake network gains usage and the value built on top of it increases, the value of the staking token must increase or the network will become unsafe. This is great for investors in the token, but bad for people that want to see decentralization become part of the mainstream way of doing business. Why? Because in order for the token value that secures the network to rise, capital must be diverted from some other use to buy the token. How does Flare solve this issue? Flare is at its core a new way of scaling smart contract platforms that does not link safety with the value of its token. Flare still requires a token for the operation of the network, principally to deter spam transactions. Flare's token is called Spark because Spark doesn't have network safety implications. It is well suited to enable the trustless usage of non-Turing complete tokens with smart contracts. At network launch, built on top of Flare is then a protocol to safely enable the trustless issuance, usage and redemption of XRP on Flare. This protocol is called FXRP. XRP safely and trustlessly becomes FXRP on Flare, secured by Flare's native token, Spark. XRP now effectively exists on a Turing-complete network, and once there, trustless interoperability with other networks is feasible, both through interoperability protocols such as Cosmos and Polkadot, or with Ethereum via well-defined bridge protocols. I told you before that I think that Cosmos and Polkadot are going to be really huge, because they were created with the idea to be interoperable, and this is very important in today's cryptocurrency world. So many different blockchains that have to be bridged with each other, and that they have to interoperate with one another. So very interesting. In short, Flare can be used as a smart contract platform for XRP or as a trustless pipeline for XRP to other networks. So that's why Flare network is going to be really huge for XRP. It is going to help the XRP ledger become more interoperable, and the value can spread through other networks, other blockchains, and this is going to be really huge. And of course, this is inevitably going to rise the price in the future. Not a financial advice, of course. Flare brings together the value of non-Turing complete tokens with the transformative power of smart contracts on a network that can scale for value as well as transaction throughput. And 100 billion Spark tokens will be created to mirror the quantity of XRP that exists. There are approximately 45 billion XRP tokens that do not belong to Ripple Labs. The objective of the distribution is that XRP holders other than Ripple can claim approximately a 1-to-1 amount of Spark to their XRP holding. 45 billion Spark will be claimable by XRP holders, stripping out non-Ripple Labs addresses. 25 billion Spark will go to Flare Networks Limited, which is Flare's for-profit organization, and 30 billion Spark will go to the Flare Foundation. All in all, I think the Flare network is going to be huge for the XRP ledger. It is going to bring smart contracts. It is going to be the bridge between the XRPL and Ethereum, and of course Cosmos and Polkadot, and why not Cardano in the future. I don't know why they didn't mention Cardano here in the blog post. Maybe they have a reason for that, I'm not sure. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.